Hello, welcome back to Pharma Training Solutions. Today I'll be briefly explaining the cancer chemotherapy. Because remember, as always, these are all short presentations designed to keep you in education mood. Now, cancer, of course, we know that cancer is unregulated growth of previously normal set of body cells. The cause of cancer, I will not go through them because we shall discuss them more in our presentations for therapeutics. Side effects or the symptoms and all those. Let us briefly explain the cell cycle, because most of our pharmacological drugs will be acting at a specific phase of the cell cycle. We have the G1 phase, where we have the synthesis of enzymes and proteins. The S phase, where we're having the DNA synthesis. The G2 phase, where we're having the microtubulin production or duplication of other cell components in preparation for the two daughter cells. Mitotic phase or the M phase, we're having the division itself or the nuclear division, and the post-mitotic phase or the GO phase, where we're having the also referred to as the quiescent state or failing to move forward for a long time. Now, remember, cells which are in the GO phase can later, in appropriate condition, enter the cycle, to repeat the cycle. What are the objectives of cancer? Because we know sometimes they have cure, sometimes there could be cure. Palliative care in those stages, especially by using morphine and other drugs. Adjunct therapy after surgery to eliminate the remaining cancer cells, or neoadjuvant. These are before therapy or radiation to decrease the tumor burden. Now, all these are the objective. Now, all this one can be represented by the graph. Is that graph which I'm sure you are aware of. In case you can't get the graph, we are always available for assistance. Now, let me briefly talk about resistance to anti-cancer chemotherapy. I'm sure you can explain these ones in details. One is includes DNA repair. We have also mutation of cells, gene amplification, formation of trapping agents such as theo, changes in target enzymes, decreased activity of prodrugs, decreased activation of prodrugs, inactivation of anti-cancer drugs, and pumping out of drugs. Now, this is just representation. These are just outlines, but you can explain them. Now, how do we classify anti-cancer agents? Of course, we have the cell cycle specific and cell cycle non-specific. Now, the cell cycle specific, we have the M phase specific, we have the vinca alkaloids and the taxanes. The S phase, we have the anti-metabolites. The G phase, the G2 to M phase, we have the bleomycin, of course, an antibiotic. The G1 and S phase, etoposide. I'm going to explain all these ones later on. Now, how the cell cycle non-specific, of course, these ones are effective in almost all phases. Mostly the alkylating agents, the platinum analogs, and anti-tumor antibiotics. These ones could be effective in all the phases of the cancer cell cycle. Now, let me briefly explain alkylating agents. Which are those alkylating agents? Now, of course, these are the form reactive species that react with the nucleophilic groups. With the nucleophilic groups on the DNA bases, and of course this one leads to abnormal base pairing and DNA strand breakage. They form reactive molecular species that react with the nucleophilic groups on DNA bases, and of course this leads to abnormal base pairing and DNA strand. Examples of the cyclophosphamide, chlorambucil, busulfan, meclorithamine, thiopeta, atretamine, and the nitrosoureas, I think this was urea something. We have the camustin and lamostin. Now, of course, you know that busulfan can be used in leukemia, lamostin can be used in brain cancer, cyclophosphamide breast cancer, chronic lymphotic leukemia, ovarian cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Chlorambucil could be used in non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and leukemia. Now, of course, there are very many uses. Remember, this is just a short presentation to keep you in that academic mood, and I'm sure you can get more of this information, or in case you can't, we are always available. The others are the platinum analogs. Of course, they form intrastrand and intrastrand DNA cross-links, hence chain termination, and of course binding to nuclear chain termination. Now, examples of cisplatin can be used in small cell lung cancer, breast cancer, bladder cancer, others such as carboplatin and oxaliplatin. Now, of course, they form intrastrand and intra-DNA cross-link, which can cause chain termination. Now, let us look at the antimetabolites. Of course, remember in a short presentation, you have the methotrexate. Of course, it inhibits the hydrofolate reductase used in, of course, when this enzyme is required in formation of purines, which are important in DNA synthesis. It is used in breast cancer, head and neck cancer, and all this type of cancer. We have the 5-fluorouracil. It is converted to 5-fluoruridine triphosphate, incorporated into RNA, where it interferes with the RNA processing and mRNA translocation. Of course, with this one, of course, leads to chain termination. It is used in colorectal cancer and anal or breast cancer. 6-mercaptopurine is a prodrug. It inhibits several enzymes of purine nucleotide synthesis. Also, we have thioguanine used in, of course, most of them are used in acute myelogenous leukemia. Now, of course, remember, these are all short presentations, but we can do more because these are just short presentation, please. Now, let us look at the natural organic chemotherapeutic agents. We have the main alkaloids. Of course, these are vinplastin and vincristine. Of course, we know they are extracted from Cantharis rosaceae. Now, they inhibit tubulin polymerization, which disrupt assembly of microtubules. Of course, you know, once assembly of microtubules is inhibited, as we said in the stages of cell cycle, because there will be no more division. Now, how we look, these are used in Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphomas, breast cancer, and can be used also in Kaposi sarcoma. It accelerates all the pliclitaxel. These are the mitotic spindle poison, because they act by inhibiting tubulin polymerization. Almost all of them are inhibiting the same thing. The other is docetaxel and cabazitaxel, used in breast cancer, small lung cancer, ovarian cancer, and all these other ones. Now, epidophytoxin. This is a podophytoxin. Of course, we know where this one is used. It can also be used in warts. Now, and the synthetic one is a toposide. This act by inhibiting DNA enzyme topoisomerase 2 and used in these cancers, lung cancer and in the non-liquid cancer. Remember, I'll talk about the side effects at once. Now, anti-tumor antibiotics, we're having the anthracycline antibiotics. We have the doxorubicin and duonorubicin. They act inhibition of topoisomerase 2. And also, they can intercalate with the DNA, hence inhibiting synthesis of RNA and DNA. Also, through generation of oxygen-free radicals, which damage the DNA. They have all these mechanisms. They can act through inhibition of topoisomerase 2, intercalation of DNA, hence inhibiting the DNA synthesis, and also can form oxygen-free radicals, which damage DNA. Now, there is in breast cancer, then Hodgkin's, and then non-Hodgkin. Now, all these are normally in the presentation. I'm sure later on we shall explain all these types of cancers in detail. Also have mitomycin, alkylating agent that cause links with DNA. Bleomycin forms free radical which binds to DNA, resulting into single and double strand breaks. Now, remember, these are all short presentation. I will not stop saying that. There is more and more information on this one. You can't cancel. Now, which are those toxicities for chemotherapy? Of course, all of us know is bone marrow suppression, then lead to thrombocytopenia, alopecia. Of course, can't have alopecia. Why? Because anti-cancers will attack all highly dividing cells, and our hairs, nails, all those are highly dividing cells. Local necrosis on administration, peripheral neuropathy or toxicity exercise in C-plastin. Busulfan is associated with skin pigmentation. GIT toxicity is common. I remember I talked about it when I was because they can induce serotonin within the endochromaffin cells in the GIT, and of course serotonin is effective, can cause nausea and vomiting. The other is hepatotoxicity, cardiotoxic. Now remember, for me I've explained them at once, but you have to again replicate these ones on each. This is always a short presentation from M Pharma Trading Solution. These are the others which we have. I always refer to them. I always remain Wilson from M Pharma Trading Solutions. Subscribe to the channel in case I haven't subscribed. Send us a comment, like the video. There is an email and WhatsApp number. We shall always reply all comments. Now, thank you very much for listening to me, and stay safe.